Hi, my name is Allie Hoffman, and today I'm going to talk about learning a second language and what age it is appropriate to do so. The question I decided to research was, should the federal government mandate that students be taught a foreign language starting in first grade? Now, there are a few points that make this topic significant. First off, brain development. According to Alyssa Vance, research consultant and Yale graduate, only 8% of former students can hold a conversation in the language they took back when they were in high school. This is because their brains were already developed by the time they started to learn the language, which eventually led them to not be able to hold the language. Next, America is expected to be a multilingual country in the future. Therefore, it is important to teach our kids how to communicate. Also, when these bilingual kids grow up, Claire Cahoon, International Corporation of Finance employee, says that they earn, on average, a bonus of 2% more in every job. Okay, so these images depict what I was just talking about. This shows the 5% of high school students that actually remember the language they took in high school. Then this image shows the percentage of foreign languages being taught in certain schools. 25% of elementary schools offer a foreign language in this country, 58% of middle schools, and 93% of high schools. Based on this information, it kind of shows what is wrong about this country. It should actually be the opposite. Elementary schools should hold the highest percentage of foreign language being offered, considering that is the prime time to learn a second language and fully develop it. First off, learning a second language significantly improves the brain's functions. Chris Bureau, writer and journalist from Columbia University, researched that more gray matter in the brain means that the brain has more accurate and efficient abilities to perform certain tasks. Consequently, multiplicity of language sparks the growth of gray matter in the brain, leading to quicker problem solving and processing phrases. Next, a second language improves speech. Medical journalist Daniel Dehaene found that children who are able to develop a native tongue in both languages, opposed to high school students who are not able to develop a native tongue because it is too late to do so. On top of that, professor in psychology at York University did an experiment that showed language multiplicity holds off dementia and other diseases that are common with old age. Lastly, multicultural understanding spread throughout the youth when you learn a foreign language in elementary school. Okay. On the other hand, however, incorporating a second language into elementary schools throughout the nation comes with some limitations. First off, money is always a big issue when it comes to these kinds of projects. Teachers who speak two different languages are going to be needed to be employed in the classrooms. On top of that, classroom space is needed considering that most elementary schools are filled with all the other necessary things in the curriculum. Next, this idea runs the risk of being unsuccessful. Kids may lack the motivation to learn something so new to them that they may shut down. Also, a foreign language can be frustrating and discouraging to these students. Overall, the big problem is the space in the curriculum. There are so many important things that are needed to be taught in elementary school that the space for new material is very slim. Some of you may be wondering, why elementary school? And here is why. First of all, Rachel Cortez says that little kids' brains are more ripe to learning information and taking it in. It may take a couple of years, but as time goes on, a second language will be just another normal class in their daily schedule. Additionally, young students will have less of a fear of being judged for messing up when it comes to learning a new language. Most importantly, the critical period of time that occurs between the age of 3 and 12. During this period, founder of a language workshop, Francisco Talbot, explains that that the brain still has plasticity which absorbs and retains information and skills. After this period closes, the student will be unable to fluently develop a language for the rest of their schooling career. In conclusion, foreign languages are overall more beneficial than they are detrimental to elementary school systems. The limitations presented in this presentation can mostly be distinguished by the federal government with their help. Here are my citations.